Well, when my wife and I moved from Texas to Alabama, we gave all of our camping gear to the Boy Scouts. And the reason I did that is I thought, well, you know, we'll never go camping again because we're getting to the point where we can't really get down on the ground very well and put up a tent. The tent we had was a great tent, but like anybody that camps knows that a tent can be pretty difficult to put up and down if you can't crawl around on the ground. And so I had given up on going camping for quite a while until I found this tent. I bought a Reactive Outdoor 2-person inflatable tent, and here it is. It's not that heavy, okay? Now you might say, well, Tom, that's a pretty big package to go motorcycle camping. Yes, you're right. This probably is not well suited for motorcycle camping. The Reactive Outdoors makes a pop-up mechanical tent that's very light and would be a great application for that. Many people are using them. This is more of a car camping tent. However, what it would work good for is for a sidecar rig. Anytime you're riding a sidecar without a passenger, you won't weight in the sidecar. Well, there you go, there's just some weight. And I'm thinking about trading in my Triumph T120 Bonneville and buying one of the new Ural Neo sidecars. Ural has just announced this week that the product is on the ship. It's going to be here in the United States. They've completed almost all of their EPA and certifications that they have to sell them in the United States. And I'm going to be looking to buy one of those in the later part of the year. And that's part of the reason why I bought this tent, so that I could go camping with my wife and in the sidecar. I think this might be a really good solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the box, set it up, and let you see what it looks like. It's a inflatable tent. You don't do anything but throw it on the ground, push the button, and away she goes. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to buy this kind of tent, was because when you set up a tent, as I mentioned a while ago, it's all about crawling around on the ground and putting the poles together and the stakes in. And I just couldn't do that anymore. I can barely get up and down off the ground at my age. So camping was really kind of out of our reach, or at least I thought that was the case until I found this. Now, I bought this with my own money. This is not sponsored content. Reactive Outdoor did not send me this. So I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to give you my first impression. And after I've used it for a few camping trips, I'll get back on the YouTube and tell you how it turned out. But right now, let's unpack it and set it up. And I'm going to try to set it up without ever kneeling or trying to get down on the ground, because that's the whole idea behind what I bought it for. It comes with a unique sort of a duffel bag container, which is good. Many tents, you can't get them back into the container once you've taken them out and used them. This type of container is good because it allows for the tent to expand, and when you put it back in, it'll open up a little bit and give you enough room. One of the first things you see in the package is the battery pack. This is a USB-C charger. I charged it up last night. You should charge any battery pack up before you use it. So I've done that. I'm ready to go. Let's take it out of the bag. Now that's not bad. They say this weighs about 15 pounds. That feels about right. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put the footprint out, the tent footprint. It's a nice footprint. It's very heavy duty. Okay, that'll keep our tent clean. Notice I'm not getting on the ground. I can't. Okay, let's see if we can put the footprint down without getting on the ground. Yes, we can. How about that? Okay, the tent has 2 compression straps. It's wrapped up in a nice bundle. It's very manageable. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook it. There are 2 valves on this tent that you have to close before you attempt to inflate it. I'm going to find those valves. Now you might say, well, Tom, if you're out camping, you won't have a back of your car close to your campsite. Well, you'll have a picnic table. So I believe that this might work in that scenario. So let's just roll it out, look for our valves. It's like, here's one. Here's the power, the place where you put the power in, right there. Let's go ahead and put that in. The battery pack has a direction on it. Arrow points up towards the valve. Okay, so that would go like this. Here's the first valve. And that's a dual valve of some kind. Here it is. And it's labeled valve, imaginatively enough. Okay, I'm going to hold the end where the pump is. I know that this has got to be up, so I will unfold the tent. Okay, I can see very clearly what the bottom is. And I'm just going to work my way around it. A little bit of breeze today, not much, but that's good. It'll be a good test. Okay, there we go. This looks like the front. That must be the top. Okay, I'm ready to go. They say what you do is you push this button. Okay, and we just let her go. It's supposed to inflate in 3 minutes. Okay, it's beginning to move. Oh, there's one of the poles going up. Now they say that you have to kind of help it as it goes. That's okay. That's much easier than putting the aluminum poles together, staking it in the ground, yada yada. You know how that goes. Now the pump will shut off automatically when it reaches pressure. How about that? Well, that's it. Okay, we got it set up. A couple of the outside features. It has a pass-through for electrical. That's a good idea. Nice zipper door. Okay. It has a cover for the valve system. Okay, that's good. So let's unzip it and see how it goes. Go inside. Well, they say this is 4-person, but quite honestly, I think you're really looking at 2, particularly 2 with cots. So I've got a window here, and I can close it up with the zipper. Okay. Close this one up with the zipper. Goes all the way up there. It goes like that. Okay. That's a nice tent, but for 1 person it'd be great with a cot. For 2 people it's going to be a little small. Okay, now let's see if we can take it down. All we have to do to take the thing down is to open the valves. Whew. Boy, you don't have to worry about that coming down too fast. That came down fast. Wow, impressive. That really came down fast. Well, now let's see if we can fold it. It feels like all the pressure's out of it. The key now is, can we get it back in the bag? Okay, first thing we want, fold the ground cloth. They're all nice and clean. Okay. Okay, ground cloth folded back. Okay, we got that done. Now the first thing we have to do is take the battery out. Okay, here we go. There, battery's out. Put it back. Supposedly that's good for 8 inflations. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to roll it into somewhat of a bundle. With the top, this is the top, this is the bottom. Okay, I'm going to keep the sides straight as I can. Okay. Okay, now just pull this over like so. That's good. That's good. Let's pull him over one more time like so. Okay, that's good. Probably trapping air up there in those air pockets. Okay, we're fixing to find out if that duffel bag they sent is going to work. It's not pretty, but I got it back in the bag. And there we go. She's back in the bag. Not quite as, it won't go in that box, that's for sure, but it is back in the bag. Well, there we go. That's the Reactive Outdoor inflatable 4-person tent. It's really probably good for about 1 person with a cot, but once you stake it out, I'm sure it could be, you can get 2 people in it with enough room to move your gear around. I'm gonna use this in the future, and as soon as I'm able to get out and use it a couple of times, I'll get back on YouTube. I'll give you a review of how well it does. Initial impression, it did what it said it was gonna do. It inflated very quickly. It came down even quicker. It had a nice ground cloth to protect the bottom of the tent. The tent is big enough for a cot, so I expect 2 cots would fit in it. I didn't go to the trouble of staking it down, but the stakes are in here. I could put them in. I'll have to do that when I set up for a real camp, because this thing would blow away. It's really light. So far, so from initial impression, I have to say, we're good to go. Let's go camping.